flexible. But the question did come up, what is a monolith? And Rich Landis from Akron, Pennsylvania, is head of our research department in IT, and he giggled humbly, and this is what he came up with. It's a sermonette, especially one intended to edify a congregation on a practical matter and not intended to be a theological discourse. Amen. So this is a wonderful day, as Megan said earlier, for gathering for this reverent yet whimsical occasion to celebrate the commitment that Travis and Lindsay have grown into in the last 6 years. And we're very grateful that all of the friends and relatives and co-workers and other people have come to be with us. It's really great. Carol and I also wanted to especially say thanks to Mark and Susan who are here. Travis's parents, his siblings, and extended family. If you haven't noticed already, it's quite a crew. And your support and nurture of Travis has helped to shape the kind, open, and thoughtful person that he is. And we thank you for that. In the past several years, Travis, you have come gently into our hearts and lives. We are enriched by knowing you. A comment you made a few years ago was, "I just want to be a part of Team Lindsay." I don't know what it was, the context, but it seemed to be the right thing to say. He said it was a dream. Your support, care, and love for Lindsay is clear, and I don't say this lightly. You, my dear, are sterling. And I love you. I've always referred to our kids, Lindsay and Allison, as my heart and soul. I'm not sure of all that it means, but Lindsay, you have been a part of me before you were born. I love you. I've always loved you. And I always will love you. I treasure our history and being a part of your life and to see you grow into the vulnerable, spirited, and courageous person that you are. And today, the two of you are setting sail on an exciting voyage across the seas. It has been said that ships are safest in the harbor, but they're not meant to be there. They must sail long and hard, face stormy seas to reach their destination. A journey requires we take risks and make bold moves. Just as those on the ship set sail on a journey to uncharted waters, so you also are setting sail on a most unique, yet universal journey. You come as individuals, yet also as a partnership. There is clear evidence you support each other in gifts and dreams that you have. You are a team. In fact, a dream team. You came up with that one. The striking similarities that the two of you have and Carol and I have did not escape me. You drive a Toyota Matrix, as do we. After a few years in one location, we set sail on another part of the journey, just as you are planning to do. But the really eerie part of this, Lindsay, is you have chosen a talented, strong, big craftsman like your mama chose me. Like all journeys, you will have challenges and joys, valleys and mountaintops, knowing that as you love and support each other, there is a great community of folks here today and far away, those alive and those who have passed on, who surround, love, and support you with thoughts, prayers, and actions. You, however, must make your own path, and you are on your own, but not totally, because this great community of friends and family all around here are with you. So it is in this gathering, as the writer of Hebrews said, with a great cloud of witnesses, together we celebrate the union and commitment that Travis and Lindsay have made and are declaring today. This partnership or team concept can be visualized in different ways. Kahil Gibran paints a picture of marriage with these words: "Let there be spaces in your togetherness. Let the winds of heaven dance between you. Sing and dance and be joyous, but let each one of you be alone, even as the strings of a lute are alone, though they quiver with the same music. For only the hand of life can contain your hearts, and stand together, yet not too near together. For the pillars of the temple stand apart, and the oak tree and the cypress grow not in each other's shadow. Together, yet not too near together. You are a team, yet two separate individuals. The idea of unity and lifelong commitment can be overwhelming. St. Solomon tells the story of a young man on his wedding day asked his grandfather, and we have a few here, well, what last words of advice would you have for me? The grandfather paused and thought about it and said, well, the first 25 years are the hardest. Sometimes we do laugh about that because we know that marriage requires effort and work. In 1 Corinthians 13, love is described in this way. Love is patient, love is kind, it does not envy, it does not boast, it is not easily angered, it keeps no record of wrongs. Love does not delight in evil, but rejoices with the truth. It always protects, always trusts, always hopes, always perseveres. Love never fails. These are great qualities to emulate and strive for. But let this be a reminder. Both of you, as wonderful as you are not perfect. And Lindsay, I know that for sure with you because you're related to me. There are times when you both will not live up to the standards we just read. Your love for each other will be imperfect. But in a relationship, that imperfection is the place to practice traits like grace, forgiveness, and kindness, which I know you have already. St. Leonard says it this way, ring the bells that still can ring. Forget your perfect offering. There is a crack in everything. That's how the light gets in. That's how the light gets in. Our imperfections are the very thing that make us more able to love and be loved. It is the imperfections that make us human, that make us need each other, that actually draw us to each other. It is our flaws that enable us to extend love, grace, and forgiveness to another, and thus also learn how to accept love, grace, and forgiveness from the other. Most of us want to portray the image of a strong, capable, self-sufficient individual. And even if we do have some of those traits, we know in our heart of hearts there is weakness and shortcomings. Yet it is precisely in admitting our humanity that we can actualize the divine. We can only give to the other that which we have received ourselves. Love, as foundational as it is, needs the choice and energy of commitment to make a marriage good for all. Your commitment to each other is a primary building block in your life together. But friends and families have a supporting role as well. A Nigerian friend told me that there are very few divorces in Nigeria. Brad, very few, hardly ever. And I said, well, why is that, Tunde? And he said, well, in his country and tradition, if he wants to get divorced, he needs to get his mother's blessing and permission. She died a few years ago, so there's not an out. His oldest sister now has that role. So somebody said earlier about it takes a whole community to put a wedding together, and it reminds me of the same thing. It takes a whole community to help support a marriage. Commitment is key because change is a part of life. From the changes of the seasons to developmental changes, it surely is a constant. The person you're committing yourself to today will likely not be exactly the same person in 5, 10, or 30 years. And guess what? Neither will you. That's life. We change. The journey you're on has an unknown quality, and that is exciting and full of potential, and that's what makes the journey purposeful. As you encounter the changes that come, as surely they will, do not be afraid to ask for help. Some have equated a request for help only as a sign of weakness. Not so. Absolutely not so. It may be a sign of pain or of need, but also of courage. Finally, but surely as important as anything, find the humor in everyday life. Laugh loudly and often just for the help of it. Be able to see your own life and foibles through the lens of humor. If you take yourself too seriously, others tend to laugh at you. If you can laugh at yourself, I think others learn to take you seriously. So have fun and treasure each day as a gift. Today, you two are wrapped in God's love through this gathered community and those who are present in spirit. May you always be aware of that love and allow it to permeate your hearts and lives. Ring the bells that still can ring. Forget your perfect offering. There is a crack in everything. That's how the light gets in. That's how the light gets in.